Hey, thanks for tuning in to That Husband Podcast with me, Black Newborn. On today's episode, we have the privilege of being joined by two guests. One who's been here before, David Kobedi. Together, we shot an episode a while back with Dr. M. And so what we're going to be doing on today's episode is reflecting on that episode, reacting to it, and responding to certain things that came out of that episode. The first thing that we speak about is what respect looks like for the husband. Can already hear Justin J, bombs going off. Such a contentious subject, but one that we need to speak about. What do we think of respect? What is respect for us? Secondly, we speak about 3 C's. How can we as husbands be conscious of our wives, be curious, and then be courageous to broach subjects that otherwise might be difficult for us to even speak about? And then lastly, we speak about how partnership looks like between the husband and the wife, particularly when we take decisions that our extended families might not agree with. All of that in today's episode. You want to stick around till the end, and we want to encourage you to engage us, leave a comment, and let's really dive deep into these topics. Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband Podcast with me, Black Newborn. Here we are husbands who aren't where we want to be, but certainly are not where we used to be. We are imperfect, always failing forward, trying to know better so that we can do better. Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband Podcast with me, Black Newborn. This is where husbands try to know better so that we can do better. Today's episode is a bit different. We are reacting to an episode we shot with Dr. M. There was a lot of things in that episode. There was fire. There was crying moments, moments of reflection. So we thought, let's unpack the specific moments. Let's dive deeper into what she brought to the table, and let's discuss it further, because we found that there's a lot of things that we wanted to unpack while we were shooting with her. Mruti, how did you find that episode before we jump into it?
It was so when you're thirsty,
yeah,
and you're drinking from a tap that's like
yes. Yeah.
So there was just a lot of things to digest there, because like so it was a lot coming at us and a lot to reflect on. So yes. I think very helpful what the talk says.
Nah, totally.
Lots of aha moments.
Yes.
Of shucks, I'm not alone.
Yes.
In thinking these things.
Yeah.
It seems like we all struggle with the same things, and that's what the talk exposed. Yeah.
By all you mean husbands?
Like husbands. Not just husbands, couples.
Yeah.
Because she does a good job of speaking both to ladies and to gentlemen without making any party feel like they are being attacked. So I like that.
All right, that's going to be fire, man. So we're going to watch this thing, react, add a bit of our commentary to the whole thing. So here we go. Dr. M.
Good morning. Thank you so much for both of you for inviting me. It's quite an honor to speak to men and that they are interested in change. When I got that SMS from David, I thought, wow, this is amazing, because women will come to my workshops.
Sure.
Married women come, they say my husband won't come.
Yeah.
Saturday workshops. And for me, this is amazing. Well done that there are men that want to make this marriage work. And I have the tools, and I have some ideas. I've done my PhD in marriage. I've done research with couples, how they feel and what they do. And so, yes, I think we'll start off. Am I the one to start off? I'm a counseling psychologist.
We'll get you off. I told you it's going to be fire. I told you.
So, do I start with my opening?
What
Guys,
do you do?
I want to know, 99.9% of husbands that come, the women has got all kinds of complaints, a lot. But the one that the husband brings is, she disrespects me.
Hey, we started.
And when I ask them, what is disrespect for you? Because he's unhappy, he doesn't want anymore, he's fallen out of love, no intimacy, because of disrespect. When I ask him, then she says, but that's not disrespect, Marilyn. Okay? So I'm going to give an example. So a vendor woman, I'm talking about the traditional gogo, right?
Yeah.
When the husband comes in, she can't say, oh, I'm just working with my grandchildren quickly. Can your food is in the microwave, or can you dish up quickly?
Yeah.
That's very disrespectful. But the vendor woman in the city now marries a son that was raised by this mom that brings the soap water and the cloth, and he's thinking, he grows up, I would love my wife just to show that love and respect. And then she says, he walks in, there's food in the microwave, are you going to cook? Or you can cook. And he's thinking, this is disrespectful. I think we don't start off by discussing before you get married, what are your culture? What is your tradition? What do you expect me to do? So he's expecting that. And some couples would be married for 5 years. And the way he explains how disrespectful she is. And I would tell her, but he's a traditional man. And she says, no, he's not traditional. I said, listen to what he's saying.
Sure.
He's a traditional man. But when we were dating, Marilyn, he wasn't traditional. Why now?
Yeah. But Doc, you probably should tell us, because
I need to know from you, what is disrespect for you?
Before we get there, Doc, there's men who don't start off traditional.
Yeah.
Yes.
We meet in university.
Absolutely.
He's also blinded by the lights. He comes from a vendor or maybe Pukeng, like my friend here.
The city girl.
Yeah, and he's speaking English. And he thinks a woman who comes with a tray was oppressed at home, and so now he's in the city and he's like, I'm not gonna do that. But the older he grows, the more he realizes
this guy is wrong. I think he's talking about
I need what I grew up with.
Yeah.
But in his 20s, he was just,
who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So what happens to us, Doc? If you would probably, because we growing, we're in our 30s now.
Like you married.
We married.
Yeah. Disrespect is different for different people, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I always tell the husbands, disrespect is different for different people and different couples. So the wife has seen the mom and dad discuss what we're going to buy. We're going to go and try and go test drive, and then they buy.
Yeah.
But now this young boy that was raised in Blood River in Limpopo in a village meets this girl, Lerato, at UP, University of Pretoria, both Kobedi, right? She's Sotho and Kobedi, but different backgrounds.
Yep.
Sure.
And so he comes with his car. Hey, babes, hey.
I bought a car.
Because Daddy did that, right?
Yeah,
Daddy worked in Joburg.
Yeah.
He brings home a car. He buys the settee,
Yeah.
And his wife is just happy. This is 2,000 rand for the children. They live comfortable. His shoes are shining. They've got so Daddy takes good care of Sipo, for example.
Yeah.
Let's say Sipo in the village, and he says, "I want to be like my dad one day.
Yeah.
I want to provide."
Yeah, exactly.
And he comes with his car because his mom, when Daddy came with a crock bakkie, remember? And he drives into the village, remember?
Yeah.
The village, you first drive in the main road, and then
Yeah.
you drive into the sand road for a while. And then when Daddy comes, it's like, wow.
The king
It's
is
a
here.
limousine.
Yeah.
Guess what? The kids jump at the back, right? Of the village.
Yeah.
And Dad takes Mom with his crock bakkie.
Yeah.
And Mom waves as she
She's the
drives in the
queen.
village.
Yeah.
Hey. And he's thinking that Lerato's going to do that, right? So he's buying Lerato a new car.
Should have gone for Sipati.
And he says, oh, I want to be like my father.
Yeah.
I want to provide. And Lerato looks at him because that's what my mom and dad did in Soshanguve,
Yeah.
in Pretoria.
Yeah.
Right? So then she's upset. Like, how can you go and buy a car?
Without
When
talking.
am I the helper? Am I the helper? And he's thinking, Mom, she's upset because I bought a car. Now remember, Mom raised him.
Yes.
So Mom will always side with the son. Always remember, Mom is not the one to get an opinion from because she raised you. So if you tell Mom,
So you're telling this to
Lerato,
the husband now. We shouldn't get opinions from our moms.
no,
Don't listen to your mom.
no, because she raised you.
yeah.
Get opinion from her mother.
Okay.
The
Or
grandmother.
her aunt.
Hey.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Because the tradition is different. So he goes to his mom and he says, Mom, she's upset. She basically wants to move out because I bought her beautiful car. I got rid of the varsity car. I thought she would like my BM now. We're moving up. She doesn't want to. She's moved out of the bedroom, and the mom says, "Oh my word, son, she is so ungrateful. I have never seen such an ungrateful woman in my life." Because remember, mom's face was shining with a crock. Bucky. So she couldn't understand Lerato. Right? Lerato is right. So just remember, a husband and a wife, you can both be right. You know, when you have an argument, you think, oh, I'm right, so you must be wrong. But in this case, when Lerato and Sipho comes to me and Lerato says, I'm done with this marriage because I am the helper. I don't know how much he earns. Remember, Dad never told Mom how much he earns. Mom never asked for an increase in the village. Like, when is your increase and when is your bonus? No. Mom's happy. Happy. Right, so he says to her, but I don't need to know your salary. Why do you want to know my salary? I pay for everything. All you have to do is pay for the creche, pay for the food, pay for the clothing. Marilyn, he says, Dr. M, I am a good husband. Don't you think I'm a good husband? Don't you think he's a good husband?
So what are you saying that?
And he's a lousy husband. I don't want him. Please, can we just check our payslips together? Can we discuss the car?
But the thing is, he's providing.
He's lousy. She wants
he's at
somebody.
home.
I'm an intelligent woman. I'm an accountant. Ask me budgets. Ask me. And you know what? And I can look and I can see the disappointment, perhaps, in Sipho's face. I always wanted to be like my dad. Good husband. And today I am told I'm a bad husband because I bought a couch for the home. I'm trying to spoil her. She doesn't have to worry like other women. But no, she says, I don't want to be in this marriage because I cannot be a helper. I think the helper even knows what he's earning because when she takes the stuff out of the pocket, she sees everything. When she washes the clothes.
You're going to get us into trouble.
She's got more inside.
So I think it's very important that you know the background. Both is right. I mean, if you had to meet, if he had to speak to his family, they would say Lerato is a very ungrateful woman.
Yes.
You know, for what you're doing. You're such a good husband.
Emaruti.
Malume.
So the doctor said a couple of things here.
Yes.
Very
powerful stuff.
Very interesting things. I think she spoke a lot about respect, which is obviously, we could cover the rest of this episode.
I think we should.
So maybe let's start here. What is respect?
Amen. I like what she said that, not respect so much. Well, respect is different for different people.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think for me, it's how you speak to me. And I think that comes from years and years of my aunt used to just speak to me like I'm a kid. Your mother speaks to you like you're a kid. My great grandmother. So all the women in your life, they treat you like a kid, and then you come of age, and then you expect to be treated like a man.
And this one you chose. You chose.
Yes.
The other ones you didn't choose.
You didn't choose them. They were much older, so you were you just lay there and took the hits. But now when you get married, I think you're not expecting someone to say, how many times did I tell you to do that? I don't think that's what you expect as a guy. I think it's how your wife brings up issues. If she's unhappy with something. You can still challenge your man, but do it in a way that's respectful. And so for me, I think that.
But what is that thing? Why does it irk us?
I don't know.
Why does it eat us as men, as husbands?
I think, have you seen those cartoons where someone shrinks?
Yes.
And there's another figure that's big.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
like
yes.
there's that feeling that you just shrink and you become a piece of nothing.
Yeah.
When a woman uses their words to crush you. Because I think that's the power that they have is the power of words. So I think they have
They can
the
build
ability to destroy you with words and make you feel like yes, you're a small boy.
Yeah. Sure. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like even saying that now, I'm like,
Yeah.
there's something that jumps in
Yeah.
my heart.
Yeah.
Like you. I think when there is, I agree with the doctor that respect or even disrespect looks different for different husbands.
Yeah.
And I think we as husbands need to find, language to communicate that to our wives. So say to your wife, this is what disrespect is for me. But I think as a couple, the wives also need to, be doing that work to inquire on what disrespect is for the husband.
There was a guy who was saying that like part of what boundaries is setting rules on how people engage with you.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the power to change the women.
No, hundreds.
So what do we do as guys?
I hear you.
Because he's saying
I was just saying they must also inquire on what
I hear you.
a level of or what disrespect looks like for their husband.
Yes.
That's the only nugget I was dropping there.
Yes.
But
granted, this is husbands trying to be better husbands.
Yes, husbands.
How do you
need
train your dragon? What did you say in another video?
Yeah.
That they are what?
What?
What did you say?
We said we're not talking about wives.
No, but like honestly, how do you set boundaries to say, listen, I don't respond to that kind of tone? Because that's a boundary. A boundary is, this is what I'm going to do in relation to how you treat me.
Yeah, but maybe let's also help guys to say what is disrespect. So for me, it's acknowledgement.
Yeah.
In any way, so physically acknowledging my presence, acknowledging my efforts, acknowledging my vision, my dreams.
Yeah.
Acknowledging my thoughts. So as I speak to you, as I share, don't speak to me in a disrespectful way. So disregarding and not acknowledging the thoughts that I just shared with you. So for me, respect is that, like a level of acknowledgement.
That you are a man. Like it's, hey, this is not a boy. I'm acknowledging that.
Yeah, sure.
You are a man.
Yes.
But more so, maybe to speak of it in a more positive light, that it's like a deep desire that we have.
Yes.
So if you talk about disrespect, it's almost like from a negative light. But if we're talking about what is it that we actually crave for as guys, man, we crave to be your man, like and feel like, sure, I'm an daughter.
And I think it just starts at a human level.
Yeah.
So if we just say human level, women would want to be loved, would want security at a human level.
Yep.
And obviously that expresses itself then in their femininity.
Yep.
So they would want safety financially, emotionally, sexually, physically, etc.
Yeah.
And we like, okay, cool. We, there's ways in which we gifted, there's ways in which we built, there's ways in which we wired that we could provide that. The opposite, or on our side rather, at a human level, we just need to be acknowledged, right? It's the cartoon you were bringing now.
Yeah.
That feeling of shrinking.
Yeah, I think we must put it up on the edit.
Like it feels like you're shrinking my humanity.
Yeah.
And I think the way we wired as men, that does something different to us than it would to a woman.
Yeah. So what would be the equivalent to a woman?
That would shrink her.
Yeah.
Is taking away security.
Yeah.
Is not giving her love. So if my wife is not loved, if my wife feels destabilized, that shrinks her, because then she can't human basically, because she's like, I don't have any footing. We more risk takers, so we don't necessarily care much about the footing and the stability. If we just live together, our lives would be chaotic, man. But the thing that we'd always do is always try and acknowledge each other. And that's why, guys, we know how to like take each other off. It's when I don't acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Or acknowledge you in ways that make you shrink.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, respect is that, man. And disrespect is not acknowledging.
And I think for women, if I've come to understand, like it's almost like they want to feel like they're the only person that matters to you in the whole universe. And I think that, I mean, in a different way, respect does that to us, that flip. I'm the man, like, and this person thinks the world of me. And that motivates me to want to love, protect, provide, and all of that. Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to say, because the pushback might also be like, you keep on saying like, I'm the man. What is that? You know? And I'm like, what that is if I get respect, then all the other things that, you know, traditionally, as the doc would say, but I would just say that's just biology, the things that are wired in us to be men, to provide, to protect, you know, what's the other P? You like P's, Muru?
I don't know. Provide, protect, and I don't know.
Pray. But all the things that our wives require, we are motivated to do those things if there is a level of respect. And I'm not saying,
but you know,
I'm not saying that their respect triggers that in us.
Yeah.
But their disrespect would kill that in us. Right? So let's say I'm there. I'm wired to. I want to protect. I want to provide. And provision, again, you know, is a myriad of things. It's not just financially. I want to provide spiritually, emotionally. I want to provide joy, etc., etc. I'm there. The thing that could kill that, the thing that could shrink that, is when I get disrespected. If I get respected, then those things increase.
And I feel like it's often in our moments where we kind of stuck in like an endless loop of fights.
Yes.
It's because we both, so this one requires love. This one requires respect.
Yep.
And then what happens is that I stop loving you because you speaking to me like I'm your child.
Yeah.
You continue speaking more to me like I'm your child because you're not loving me. Because it's often a reaction, and then it spirals into like the relationship turning sour over small things.
Yep.
Because we're not giving each other what we both desire the most. Yeah. But I mean, I do think that acknowledgement does take different cultural expressions depending on where you grew up. And I like what the doc was saying in light of that your family of nurture and upbringing shapes the way you view respect.
Yep. And having those conversations before marriage, which I think is hard, looking back now. Yeah. I mean, I would, with being married and, you know, listening to the doc, I would advise a couple that's about to get married, especially a guy, to say, I think have this conversation, man. You know, and if there is room that you guys can, to some healthy extent, bring each other around each other's families. You know, and I mean, it's a point we need to chat about, where the doc said we should not consult our mothers whenever we feel disrespected by our wives, which I totally agree with. Yeah. Right? Because I think there is a natural bias that our mothers would take. I mean, praise God that our mothers are not like that. But generally, most mothers to husbands tend to do that. Yeah. Where they would favor the husband. This is my son. This is how I raised him, etc., etc. Especially single mothers. Yeah. And the advice from the doc is, you know, the husband should go speak to the wife's mother. Yeah. To understand the culture that she grew up in, how she understands what disrespect and respect is, and that might also inform you in understanding what your wife's psyche is and why she's doing what she's doing.
No, and I think it's a politically incorrect thing to say, because a lot of us grow up with our moms as the center of our world. So to say don't listen to your mom, you posted a video on your wife being the queen of your life, and the reaction from that was quite shocking.
The shocking thing was all the women.
Is it?
Yeah. All the women, bro. Yeah. All the women were like, this is so disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, we work hard for you, blah, blah, blah. And then you just meet her. I'm like, I wonder where your son is. First of all, I'm like, I wanted to say, like, oh lady, you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Fighting
Yeah.
a guy who's as young as your son.
Sure.
like we need to fix our priorities. Right?
No, we do. We seriously do. And
But Muruti, then people would say, if he does act like a boy, I'm justified in speaking to him like a boy.
Sure. Like, at what level? Somebody said, I think it's women, it's dogs and kids. Sorry to
probably
put those
cats.
in.
It's
Yeah,
probably
cats. That get unconditional love.
Yeah.
And for men, somehow they must work for it. Where, like, we would never say that about, like a woman. But what if she doesn't deserve the flowers? What if she's acting up and like doing all sorts of things to be disrespectful? No, it's always, no, you gotta love her. You gotta,
I've never actually thought about that, bro.
give her flowers despite her behavior. But for men, it's like, no, he has to earn the respect. I think at one level, yes, you need to start acting like a man to be respected. But I think at another level, we can love and respect you into being a respectful man.
Yo, that is tough, man. That rocked me. Because I'm like, listen, say whatever you want to say, but we would get looked at very, ugly sideways if we would say, my wife has to earn my love.
Yeah. Yes.
We would.
Yeah.
Like, this thing would end.
Yeah.
But very commonly, people would say, my husband has to earn my
because he's
respect.
acting like a boy. Therefore, I'm going to treat you like a boy. That's the natural reaction that I've had. And it's, even with women I respect, like they've said those kind of things.
I know.
I'm not going to mention names.
No, and to some level, we do take accountability. We should, do things that warrant respect.
Yeah.
But it's like what you said earlier on when you corrected me, that I'm not gonna do things just only when I'm respected. Right? I need to be doing things. I need to be loving. I need to be providing. Not only do those things when I do feel respected. Even when I'm disrespected, I still need to do those things. But there is a sense in which my wife's respect will encourage me to do and to flourish in doing those things, right? And so I think even if a husband behaves like a boy, the respectful thing is to go say, hey, here's what you've done.
Yeah.
Because of the kind of man that I know you are or you desire to be, I think that was childish behavior. Like, this is not who you are. And this is not the kind of man that I would want you to be.
Yeah.
I'm like...
So you're calling out childish behavior without descending down to the, being mean and...
Yes.
And I'm not sure if, treating your husband like this is not a platform for that. But, is it meant to destroy them or build them up? And if we want to build up husbands, I think, respect is a big thing.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Find ways to speak to him even when he's flopped.
But the cultural stuff, I think for me, what I found interesting from what the doc was saying is, and I'll go back to this, that what did she say? That it's different for different people. So which means, even in premarital counseling,
yes,
I do feel like there's certain things that you will never pick up about what respect looks like for your husband. So it has to be, and us as husbands, we need to continually learn ourselves and the things that trigger us.
Yes.
And how it is that we want to be respected, and to even question whether or not, because sometimes you may feel disrespected, you may receive disrespect, but the other person is not giving it. They're not trying to be disrespectful. So to also be emotionally aware that, hey, I'm triggered when someone speaks, like for instance, when someone calls me buddy, or someone taps me on the shoulder, I think it's yes,
No, I hear you.
buddy or
Like me,
champ
when I touch your head.
I mean, you are a clown.
Now, according to someone in the comments, we are losers.
Yes, it's fine.
not
That
clowns.
person does not have a podcast.
No, I hear you. You know what makes me feel disrespected?
Yeah.
Pull up to the stop sign. Maybe we both pull up at the same time.
Yeah.
And then somebody does this.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
That finger thing. This thing.
But it is.
This
like
thing.
people who study body language say this is like it is very like, but also like I'm the one in charge.
Yeah, so you
move.
go. Yeah, exactly. Where I'm like, man, you can flash your lights.
Yeah.
You know, or just be like, beep beep.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, for other people, flashing lights might be disrespectful. Beep beep might, but I'm just like that finger thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you talk with your car, it's fine. I don't want to see your finger.
Oh, but you can do like polite.
Even yeah, well, that's open. And it happened this morning.
Is it? But how much of that is on you?
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's what you were saying.
Yeah.
I don't have time to get out of my car and be like, how were you raised? It's fine. It's on me, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, at home, I have time to be like, oh, smacked. Like, she might not have intended that as disrespect.
Yeah. But
She's
when
just
you
being
do
polite.
that,
And she's just like, we're efficient. We both got here. I'm actually being courteous.
Yeah.
You go first.
yeah.
But it's just this thing, Joe.
And I feel like because when you bring that up, it sounds like, yeah, you see males and their egos and all of that. The opposite never happens, man. And that's
I
what
know.
I'm like, you women and your
Softness.
emotions and softness. Like, no, it's not an ego thing. I'm saying, I feel like when you do that or when you point to me, whatever, like I find that very disrespectful. I feel that it's a loving thing to do to then respond to how your husband or significant other would love to be treated with respect.
Yeah.
But also, I guess as guys, from our perspective, we need to also learn to manage our triggers. There's a guy I follow on Insta, bro. Like he's so good with like human relationships. He calls
a
it.
local guy?
No, he's a Canadian guy.
We can't give him a shout out.
We can't give him.
Bye-bye.
But he says that it's like your buttons are a remote, like it's like a remote control.
Oh, who do you give it to?
Yeah, so you should never give somebody your buttons. And I think that's because this is not a platform to advise ladies on how to respect your husband. This is a space to say, like, husband, how do you not give...
Listen, we welcome anyone to watch here. If you're a woman and you're a wife and you're single, watch. Yes.
No,
But we want to fix husbands.
But we want to
help husbands.
Help husbands become better
Yeah.
so that they can do better. And part of it is not handing people their buttons to your...
But what does that mean? Because that also sounds like I shouldn't open up to my wife to tell her.
No, so what it means is I know the finger triggers me. So when it happens, I need to be aware. Oh, what just happened is someone pressed my buttons. Let me not let this thing that I find very disrespectful trigger me to
Rule me now.
Like just arouse anger in me. Yeah.
And if it does,
like I think it's
catch yourself.
Yeah, catching yourself and controlling your emotions. Cause men,
No, it's true, bro.
It can trigger you to a point where like you wanna react in ways that would elicit respect.
Yeah.
Which is physical dominance.
Yeah, which is not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But it goes back to that thing you were saying about, not saying that because we want respect, we some, egotistic, megalomaniac.
We didn't do that, go President Mango. Megalomaniac.
Megalomaniacs, right? It doesn't, I mean, sure, there's dudes who are like that.
Yeah.
So we have to say that. But even that stems from just the wiring you know, that we have as men, just at a human level, you know, to want to protect, to want to take risks, to want to venture off, to want to build things, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All of that is wired in us. And so our emotions are going to come out in a different way. It's false to say that we're not emotional.
Yeah.
It's false to say that women are not risk takers. We just do it at a different
yeah,
level.
we tend to expose more anger as an emotion.
Yeah,
not like
and that
tender emotion.
Yeah.
Aggressive,
and that speaks to the environments we grew up in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, there's dudes we know who can restrain their anger and express, you know, more tender, gentle, loving care. And there's times where they know how to pull that back so that they can express anger, but in a constructive way, right? But I think that has to do again with the family of origin, and that's the thing we spoke about.
Yeah.
If we're not discipled, nurtured, trained at home, this is a boy who thinks differently. It's an episode we did with Temba, who was like, look at how you soothe a boy who's crying. I mean, you have the privilege of both.
Yeah.
A boy who cries and a girl who cries when they're babies, the soothing is different, right? And if there are two parents who are looking after those kids, there's ways in which they'd be nurtured, and especially for boys to then be able to do both, right?
Yeah.
Muruti, before we move on, the doc spoke about lousy husbands. Basically, Sipo comes with a car, doesn't speak to Lerato. Obviously, he feels some type of way that Lerato's not accepting this gift, but he's just trying to mimic what his dad did when he was young, brought a car back home. His mother was happy, but the mother was at home. She wasn't, you know, like Lerato, who went to UP, who's concerned about every single cent. She just got her pocket money in the village. She was fine.
I think we cracked up when she said that, and I think for good reasons. Because I didn't see it coming. The doc has a nice way of like building it, and then back. She's actually a good example of like how to respectfully say, you're a lousy husband.
Yes.
Because she understands. Oh, you do all of those things.
We took that.
Yeah?
We took that.
Yeah, it was like, like this is not offensive, because she shows you the inner workings of, like, why did you actually do that?
Yes.
I think you were trying to be loving, but that's like lousy behavior because you didn't involve your wife in the process. I think that was powerful.
Yeah. I just thought about what you said, because then the normal response is you brought the car, and then the wife quickly goes to lousy without acknowledging that.
I think this
what was good about what you were doing.
Wow, that's powerful.
Right? Like, where do you? Oh, okay, you saw this from your dad.
Yeah,
but now this was cool, man.
Yeah,
but listen, we don't live in a village anymore. Oh, smack. Somebody might be like, yeah, but that's obvious. Yeah, sure, but remember there is patterns that I've developed. Ways of how I'm coping, and I think I'm going to do marriage. Yeah. Part of that is borrowing from things I saw, things that I'm lacking in, and therefore I'm compensating in other ways. But I think to say, oh, shucks, like this is what you were trying to do. That's fair. I see that, but this thing is going to cost us. Sure.
And I think that's what like grace is, and extending grace, because it's it's knowing that someone's stuffed up, they behave this way. But what if I were to look at them from their point of view? What if I were to assess the situation and their actions, understand it from their point of view? That gives you grace, not to endorse the behavior, but to perhaps even begin by understanding where someone comes from. That way you're able to extend more grace instead of just saying, that's lousy behavior.
Anyway. It's cool. Let's continue, man. Leave your comments. Let us know what you're thinking.
Don't crucify me. I do.
We all acknowledging. I mean, we're all responding to the talk. Crucify us if you want to. Our crucifixions are not going to save your lives.
For example, last week, he picked her up at work. Her car was in a garage. Picked her up, bought a nice supper. And bought her chocolates, right? That was last week, Thursday. This week, Thursday, she says she's unloved. She feels unloved. Does that ring a bell?
That sounds familiar, Doc.
And you're thinking like, but I bought Papa waited 2 hours for you. 2 hours in a car.
Yeah.
And like next Thursday, it's like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
I feel unloved. And now,
So
remember now the man.
It just has different
Yeah,
actors.
another man.
Same movie.
Another man
Yeah.
is like, you're talking rubbish. Gosh, what must I do for you to be loved? Remember, it's her reality.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be curious, you must start being a curious husband.
Hey.
Be curious. Don't shut her down. Just be curious, because when she packs her bags and she's out, now you want to know.
What's
Wow.
wrong?
I said, why did
Now
you,
you're curious
why did your
when she's
wife,
leaving.
Why did your wife leave?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I said, she must have spoken to you. Doc, I don't know. But it's because you're not curious. So let's say I'm going to ask this lady, Helen,
Yeah.
right? And Helen, and now he's going to ask his wife.
Yeah.
So why are you feeling unloved? Men don't want to go there because I'm doing stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that was the big thing on Thursday. That's
Yeah.
brownie points.
Yeah.
But the next Thursday, not
Yeah.
loved.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be brave.
Yeah.
Please, guys, be courageous.
Yeah.
Courageous.
Yeah.
There you have to be courageous.
Curious and courageous.
And curious.
Yeah.
And you say, my darling,
Yeah.
why are you feeling unloved? And she said, you know, since Monday, when I walk in, you on TikTok, you on WhatsApp, you're laughing at other people, I'm sitting, then you talk to the kids, and you don't even say, babe, how are you? For the whole week.
Hey.
And he's thinking, okay. So she is feeling unloved, right? Then you can say, well, you know,
These
Helen-
are tools, by the way.
yeah. And
How to be a curious
yes.
and
Then
courageous
Helen,
husband.
and then Helen, he says, Helen, do you remember Monday? You look so angry. I get scared when you're angry.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That means I get scared when she's angry because I don't know what's next, what's going to happen next.
So,
Right?
Yeah.
So Helen, you came
Let's
in
call her
angry
Lerato,
Mando.
not Helen.
Okay,
Yeah,
Lerato.
Lerato.
Okay, Lerato. We
Lerata,
will use
Lerato.
Lerato and
Yeah,
Sipo.
yeah.
So Lerato walks in and Lerato, you looked angry.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh heck.
Let me just stay on
Let
TikTok.
me just
Yeah.
let me escape.
Because I can feel the
I
heat.
can feel. I don't know. Must I make coffee? Must I make food?
Yeah, I don't know.
Must I
I
ask
know,
for
yeah.
food?
What's going on?
And I'm
I've
TikTok.
lacked courage. I don't have
TikTok.
courage right now.
TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So then you can say that to Lerato. Lerato, when you came in, your face made me scared, man. I don't know what is going to come next.
Hey, sorry to interrupt your viewing. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. If you haven't hit the notification bell, do that so that you're always updated on the episodes that we drop. What are we about here? We're about husbands who want to know better so that they can do better. And with that in mind, here's another husband coming up next week who gives us stuff to know better so that we can all do better. All right, check it out.
But whether you're working together or not, which is where I am right now, the one thing that you must never lose, and if you don't have it, you should bring it in, is transparency.
Sure.
If your wife asks how much money is in your account, be open to say it.
Yeah.
Be open to show her the statement.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sure. Speak into that, man.
You know what I mean?
Lerato, when you came in, your face made me scared, man. I don't know what is going to come next. And then Lerato would say, really? Did I come like that? No, I didn't. I was actually looking forward to coming. Maybe it was the helper that didn't do something, but no.
Oh, it's the boss.
And now this is how you do it. Then you say, okay, so what can I do to let you know that face? So she'll say, okay, let's call it squirrel. You can't actually say you look angry because then the kids will say, mommy is angry. Mommy is angry. I mean,
so you use code language.
Use code. You have to use code language. Right? Because the kids are going to make them more angry,
Yeah.
right? Mommy. If daddy say, yeah, you angry. You're angry now.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do that, right? So you've got to give a word. So you guys have your own word. One will say, butterfly.
Yes.
Oh, butterfly. Okay.
Or squirrel.
Or squirrel.
Yeah.
Or maybe a very contextual one.
Yeah.
Tigolosh.
That's exactly
No, you're not going to use chikolosh.
No, but like.
No. Then you call no.
captures
No,
the
we don't want
essence.
to capture the
It's a code
mood.
word.
No, you want to be subtle and lower the mood.
Dog, you could even.
You can't say chokolosh. It's gonna make her more
You could even
upset.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
So you
Don't say the whole thing.
Don't.
thing.
Why
code.
are you not listening to me? You're not going to use that word.
Yeah.
Okay, squirrel.
You've
dog.
got
That's
to
it.
use squirrel, or you can
Squirrel.
use
Butterfly.
and then she knows. Oh, okay. I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee quickly.
Yes.
And fix my
Butterflies
face.
around. There's butterflies, so let me have a cup of coffee.
I'm taking notes.
And let
here.
me
Where's
just
it? Grace,
project.
where's the notepad?
This
Let
book that
me
we're
just-
compiling is changing
Let-
now.
Let me just project. What am I angry about? Oh, yes, when I walked out, the boss said, the manager said, oh, is this the time to leave?
Yeah.
And it's just been playing in your head while you left, is, gosh, these people don't value me. I mean, yesterday I came in an hour early, but now it's like, what time do you leave? And that can stay with you coming
Yeah.
from
Till you get
work.
home.
Work stuff you can bring home.
Also, we're
So
not like seeing
home can
things.
affect work.
Yeah.
And work can affect home. And I think it's very important when you're in a relationship, and marriage is a relationship that you build, is that you need to be in tuned. How? Like some men will say, the woman will say, he doesn't know how to make me feel loved. I said, but you need to share it with him. Why must I share it with him? He must know.
Yeah.
Remember, women are nurturing women by nature because it's been put in them traditionally to be the nurturer. Traditionally, if you come from a traditional background, Daddy wasn't involved with nurturing. He was sitting with his buddies. He was sitting there around the
tavern.
fire, whatever. She did the nappies. So he's not. Men are becoming nurturers now, actually. Because that's what the women want. 30 years ago, when I got married, that wasn't a thing of
40, dog,
I
40.
need
40 years ago.
40 years ago.
Don't
I-
undersell yourself.
The experience.
40.
I
yes.
think that time, quality time
Yeah.
was not a problem. Quality time is a problem now.
Now.
What do you think has changed there?
Because women and men are both working. And women sometimes have most of the responsibility to pick up the kids. Thank you, guys. I know some daddies pick up the kids, and they, but they still feel responsible for those things, and they have to come home, make sure that the kids are taken care of, the school. Remember, even though you're helping her, it's almost as if she feels it is still her responsibility, and that's why she wants to interrupt you when you're busy with school. It shouldn't happen. If you do school with kids, leave him. If a man starts doing dishes, don't tell him this is messy.
Sure.
He hasn't done it at home. You've done it at home all the years. So take the plate, dry it again, not in his face, and you pack it away. And you encourage him and say, wow, that was well done. I mean, we need to affirm that was well done. I mean, you're not going to say, when you dry the dishes, the plates are still wet, the zinc is, the man's not going to help. And women also need to be affirmed, when...
Hola, TikTok husband.
Give him luda.
This is my work.
Is
I'm working.
Is that how you... when your wife wants to talk to you?
Yeah, Gaspar.
And then you're like, I'm working over here.
Yeah.
We're working over here.
I'm telling other people how to be husband.
Yeah. Hey, social media.
I think it's going to destroy us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, valid points there that the talk was bringing, especially missing each other.
Yep.
Lerato comes home, she's angry. Sipo's on the couch, sees her angry face, resorts to TikTok because he's like, I don't know.
What's going on?
Roaring lion.
The bear is unleashed.
It's unleashed, right? And then she's like, oh, I came home, you're on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, it's that ping pong action could have been resolved very early on.
By just, hey, let's pause
Yep.
and be aware of what's actually going
happening.
on. It's so hard to do that, man.
Hard.
Yeah.
Yo, of it. Yeah, that thing. Communication and, I mean, communication is part of this thing, but communication and then just being aware of those moments.
Yeah.
That's marriage.
Yeah.
That is marriage, man, because that's where things crack. We don't talk, and then 3 years down the line, oh, smack, I didn't know this is how you feel. But I wouldn't know because we didn't talk.
Yeah.
Or I'm not responding because I just see how you are, your actions, etc., etc. And that's why I'm like, you also need to, it's connected to talking.
Yeah.
So I can't just see you coming into the house with a sour face.
Yeah.
And then I'm just reacting physically as well, but not actually saying, hey. But that thing is hard.
But the thing is, it's unconscious thing, because it's not like you thinking, like you're actually aware. Oh, flip! I'm trying to avoid this girl because her face is down. So I think it's the awareness even, because it's a natural reaction. You greet, and then it's like, okay, I'm sensing things there, but I'm not aware that I'm gonna run away from this.
Yes.
Because like our natural response in any environment is if you greet somebody, they give you an unfriendly face, you try to protect yourself from that person. So you get home and like the face is down. Like, what do you do? Like, you're not thinking that I'm gonna avoid her. Like, but that's the natural thing that you end up doing.
And some husbands tend to think to themselves. I was chatting to some guy. She walks in with a face like that, and his first instinct is, what did I do?
Not we all think that.
I mean, not all the time. I don't think that all the time.
I default to that I must. And I think,
that's fair.
I think the opposite, I don't know, I can't speak for her.
Yes.
The opposite is
That's
true.
fair.
There's
That's
been
fair.
times where I have an angry face and she probably thinks, like, what did I do?
I could tell you what our wives think.
What do they think?
Manje yini ngawe? King kawe.
Yes.
I don't think they think, what did I do? They think, king kawe.
Yeah, but at some level, it's like like a friendly face is inviting.
Yes.
And an angry face is it's a
it's
deterrent.
tough, man. Yeah.
And so I like that, like she gives tools on how to handle that. But
the using code language.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. But before we even get there, like, what would we say to ourselves, to husbands who, the doc said we need to be courageous and curious.
I'd say I'd add another C there.
Yeah.
Conscious.
Hallelujah.
Be conscious.
Nchayaka.
Be courageous.
Yeah.
Be curious.
Yeah. Consciousness
Yeah.
leads to curiosity.
Curiosity.
That leads to courage.
Yeah. Preach it, brother.
Because those were my points.
3 C's.
Yeah. Culturally conscious.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because the thing is, when you are conscious,
Yes.
suddenly it's not me against this person. It's like, hey, what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, it looks like she's angry, and I'm gonna react this way when she's angry. Let me not choose to do that. Let me be curious. Why might she be upset? What happened that might have made her upset? And so I'm curious, and then I'm courageous to, even though I know you're angry.
Yeah.
I'm
courageous to ask.
Yeah. So I think for me, it begins with being actually aware, which I don't think I'm always aware of what's going on. I react in subconsciously. It's easier to watch TikTok
scroll.
videos. Watch on how to have a healthy relationship. While I'm avoiding the thing, I'm liking the content. Yeah, marriages must be healthy. Yeah. But I'm on TikTok.
Listen, if you're watching this, and I did some short videos saying that, man, that there's times where you watch content like this, and this is where you are.
Yeah.
Stop the thing, man.
Yeah.
Stop this. We want your views, but not at the detriment of your marriage. Stop this thing and go speak to your husband or your wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to be conscious, and I think it was easier when we were dating because you were, at least let me speak for myself. There's a sense in which you are going somewhere.
How do you mean?
You know, so we're dating and the plan is to get married.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a big destination that we want to get into, and we know that marriage is obviously not the ultimate destination. We're still going to continue growing in the process of becoming one. Yeah. But I think it's easier to be conscious when you have, you know, a destination, a vision, something to get to. Therefore, when I go on a date with my girlfriend, I'm becoming curious because I want to explore this person. Yeah. I have more courage to ask questions because this is going somewhere. And, you know, because of life, because of, you know, just brokenness, we get into marriage and we switch off that part of our brains. And obviously then fights happened, you know, and too many instances where you guys are rubbing up against each other happen so much that they also continue crushing that sense of curiosity in you. But now I was thinking, man, like, as we were chatting this whole time, I'm like, yo, how do I awaken that in me again? Yo. To say when I go home, I want to explore my wife, man. You know? And exploring her is because I know we going somewhere. And maybe even having a year destination, a 5-year destination in my own head. This is the kind of marriage I want to have in a year's time. And so that would, you know, encourage, inspire this awakening in me that when I get home, I'm like, yo, I'm coming in here to be conscious, right? Yeah. And obviously that consciousness will awaken a curiosity in me because I'm like, man, it's this thing of now we're just getting into the routine, and it's easy to get into routine. And I think
added to your thing, it's not just also the destination, but it's also that part of what changes when you are married is that, so you're dating, you're there, it's a date,
and it ends.
Now you 24/7 with this person. Yeah. So it's like, like Linda, this is my house. I want to feel safe. So what happens is that, like, we just striving for survival in this space. And there's no, because with dating is like, no, like we pursuing each other. It's fun. Like you want the other person to love you. If they're upset, then it's like, what's wrong today? But I can only say that when I'm just seeing you for that 2 hours or 3 hours. But now I'm like, every day, what's wrong with you?
I know.
I just want peace.
I know. But and that's
I
what I'm saying.
I don't want problems.
I want to enjoy life.
We are here.
We are not here to suffer. But what I'm saying is, if what I think we need to include in marriage prep. Yeah. How do we accommodate? And bear with me here. But how do we accommodate the individual in us that is meant to be dying in marriage?
Yeah?
That's why I said bear with me.
Yes! Listen properly.
In the Greek.
Yes. Sometimes, sometimes I don't understand my friend.
Listen, no, you're not profound.
Yeah, no. Let me listen properly.
So what happens is, it's what you were saying. When you're dating, you are together for that 2 hours. Yeah. You know, if you're lucky, 3, 4, 5 hours. You're together. Yeah. You guys are making space for each other. Yes. For the togetherness in the 2 hours. Yeah. And then, for the rest of the week, or the rest of that day, you're going back home to be with the individual. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That individual is not meant to die because you're not together yet in marriage. Yeah. But when you come together, the places where you were individuals is now this space that you commonly share. Yeah. And the thing that makes it hard for this space that you commonly share now that you're married is because you still are individuals with your own, you know, depressions, with your own brokenness, with your own pressure. And so we somehow, unconsciously, want to make space for that individual. And that individual rubs up with this team that's supposed to be forming now, right? And that individual is always pushing against this. I must ask you every day.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Now I must be curious every day. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, if you want to live here forever till, one of you dies, then that individual needs to know that he or she has to be daily dying so that there's more space for you guys to exist together, right? But I'm like, in marriage prep, we assume that the couple knows that. We assume, you guys know that you're supposed to be sacrificing individually. You need to be giving up yourself individually. And I'm like, nah, bro. Because it's that thing that smacks you sideways when you get into the marriage and you're like, yeah, but I used to do this thing well, yeah? But yeah, I'm fine. You were playing a soccer match for 2 hours. But now, if you have to be on the field every day, I'm fine. Not even Ronaldo can play 24/7. 24/7.
Yeah.
Even the doc used an example of Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. If he misses a goal,
That's powerful.
does it mean now that he's not a soccer player anymore?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But then I would ask the doc, but Ronaldo's not playing 24/7. The husband is playing 24/7, fine. And if you're gonna play 24/7, you need to adjust your game plan.
Yeah.
And my thing is, adjusting the game plan is, how do we as a couple make space to kind of accommodate our individuality, but also say, like, we can't now make the individuals flourish at the expense of the couple, right? And so there's things I need to kill in myself, which then means I have to kill the fact that I'm like, I can't ask you every day. You have to ask every day, fine. That's what consciousness is.
Yeah.
That's what curiosity is. That's what courage is.
You can
right?
rat, eh?
Yeah, I said
That's powerful. So
it's powerful.
And I think
I'm telling you, fine.
the part of the motivation to do that and creating the space for the marriage, I think to me is like, so there's two things that you can do.
Yeah.
One is that you can look at the negative and say, if you continue along the path where you're not asking each other or asking your spouse, how you feeling,
If you continue to give,
that thing is gonna die. Like,
temporary
this fire is gonna
solutions,
die.
it will.
Yeah. So what is it? Yeah, maybe the analogy of wood and fire, that like together we creating this fire.
Yes.
You take it apart, you can burn there.
It's not gonna last.
But it's not gonna last. So
Or
how
it's
do we-
gonna burn the house.
Yeah.
If it's not
If it's not contained there.
together.
Yeah. So how do we then, like, on the negative side is that it's gonna die out, but on the positives is like, hey man, imagine what depth of intimacy you can experience when you step into like someone's world. Like, man, there's joy when you pursue your wife and you just are gonna have a nicer marriage. You're not gonna. It's not gonna feel like marriage is not gonna feel like hard work if you put in the hard work. Did I just come up with that?
Marriage is not gonna feel like hard work.
Yeah.
If you put in the hard work.
I know. I know.
Unja.
No, that's profound. Grace.
Yeah. You know, it's my awesomeness.
It's
ooza.
Yeah,
It's oozy.
So, and I think that's the motivation, right? To like, how do I continually put in the hard work? It's by understanding that when we are together, if we work at this thing, the flames are gonna keep you warm. Like it's gonna be there's joy the other side of that. That hard work, and for me, when I pursue the joy, it motivates me to keep going.
Yes.
Versus like, I just don't want this thing to fall apart. Like, if it's a negative motivation, it's gonna feel like spanning. Like you're working for a salary. It's like
Exactly.
I gotta keep the lights on instead of Flap. I actually wanna pursue this person. I want to see them happy, man, because that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I want to understand what's troubling them and be there for them. And that's a different motivation. And it keeps you and pushes you to work.
Yeah.
And that's, in as much as we can mention that in premarital counseling, I think you need that after, man. Like it's a day-to-day.
How it's a day-to-day.
Striving for the.
So what's gonna be your wife's code word for when she's Sour.
We need to discuss that matter. We need to watch this episode and then go. I love those. She gives tools, this woman.
She does.
She doesn't just say,
She does.
yeah, here's what's wrong with. He's like, no, you can actually win as a husband.
Do this, yeah.
If you talk to your wife. So I'm committing to go talk to my wife and say, sometimes when I come in, it looks like it's World War.
Bah. Yeah. I nearly gave a
What is that?
very
No,
wrong
but
code
we must
word.
give a very positive
Code word, yes.
Code word. So
Positive reinforcements.
we will say, what word? What is a cute animal?
Gaston.
Gaston. Mutla.
Mutla.
Mutla is a bunny.
Oh.
Actually, they're not cute because we eat them.
And I'll work on a code word.
Yeah, we'll work on a code.
Code word, yeah. It's dope.
Your default is shame, but it's not shame.
Yes.
It's the reality today. And shame can cause anger and it can cause depression
Yes.
because of shame. If you marry a woman today, celebrate that she is good at what she does, that the children will benefit.
Sure.
Don't run it down. Affirm that. The power that she has, that sometimes I see in my sessions that men can't cope with, is actually that which you must use. That God's given you this amazing woman. If you're going to break it down so that you can feel better, your children is not going to benefit one day. We don't know if you're going to be there one day, right? So the children can benefit from a lioness.
But do you think husbands then like intentionally break their women apart?
Shame.
Like
Shame.
Yeah.
And that's what I say, the default is shame. If you're feeling shameful, then that is going to happen without knowing. Because what do you do with shame? How do you work with shame? How do you walk with shame? And I know that in-laws are very destructive sometimes, and even that couple that told me, you know what, we've decided that my husband should stay at home, and I'm going to go and work because I'm already there.
Yeah.
And he can stay at home for a year or two. The little boy, take him for soccer, golfing, develop the little boy. The family would come into the house and tell him, this is my sister's house.
Wow.
And she would then sort them out and say, guys, I know this is not the traditional role. My husband has invested in this house before he decided to run the home. This is his house. He's helping my kids develop. We have a sports background. My family, she would say, my family's got soccer background. He's got a gift. He needs to be developed. So we've decided, let's develop him to be a soccer star. Let him be around. Because if we both are managers, this little boy is not going to get there. So he's allowed then to start a little business. While he's seeing the kids, he can sell. So you don't have to be a manager working for a company, but then you can sell something on the side. You can still do something with yourself. But the key thing is that the child needs to be developed. If he's got a gift for golfing, and I think it's very wise when couples can come together and say, what is your gift? I've got a sporting background. My little boy's got a sporting background. I need to be there. Maybe I need to change my job. I think decisions always need to be what is in the best interest of children. Before the children, it was what you wanted.
Just the two of us,
When you were single, it was you. The day you decide to have a child is the day you have to know that whatever decisions that we make will be in the best interest of the child. And it's not about shame. I think, please look at that feeling and emotion. It's a default since the Garden of Eden. Shame. And that is why the Bible says respect the man, because God knows he walks with a shame. Everything that is not accomplished, because men want to be accomplished. They want the key thing for men is not marriage per se, but to accomplish things. To build and to be. That's their key thing. The woman wants to marry and want kids. And the man is thinking, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to cope? Like, oh, please, speak to this woman, Lord. I don't want children now. How am I going to pay? So the man, he wants to build himself. And then he finds this woman. She just applies for a job and she's now a manager. No, this can't be. It happens in BEEE. Okay, it is reality. It's the modern time. It's society, and we shouldn't be judging each other. And just watch that feeling of shame, because it does affect the marriage.
Muruti, we're gonna end here.
Yes, sir.
Aye, the talk spoke about partnership there in marriage, man. That was dope. Yeah. I think maybe that whole thing about not breaking down your wife because she has a strong personality.
Yeah.
But instead, as a husband, how do you press into that? I mean, that thing was sobering when she was like, if you die, right? Or rather, we're on YouTube. If you are unalived, right? You would need a wife with a strong personality to
take care of
to look after the family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, strong personality is not just for when you're dead.
Yeah.
But that's what she was saying. Like, even as you're alive, you married together. How do you, as a husband, press into that? Champion your wife in ways that would ensure that her strong personality shines and thrives and benefits the marriage, benefits the family.
Yeah.
That whole partnership thing, that was,
No, it's powerful.
that thing ministered to me.
In what ways is it?
It's I think I'm there now, and it's a question that I've been grappling with probably for the past 2 years. How do we partner together for the next phase of where I think our lives and our marriage is going?
Wow, man, yeah.
That thing has been chowing me, man.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
because at some level, I don't think we even had the tools to dream together with our wives. Because I think if I listen carefully, or even other men, it seems like this whole nurturing her and supporting her in her dreams seems to be a big thing. And I'm like, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know. For the longest of time, it was like, no, you're here to support me and my dream, without even saying it. That was the default position. But to think about it as a partnership, to think about it, and this is what I love about the dog, is that she makes it relevant to the South African context. In our country, there will be, women will likely be promoted more. She'll most likely be earning more. If you met in varsity, it's you meeting someone who is beast in the corporate world. And in some ways, if I look at what attracted me to my wife, it was that
our challenge.
Yeah. And then suddenly, when she challenges you, this is not what I signed up for. It's exactly what you liked about her. So that's quite something. That whole thing with BEE that she says, that because of the women empowerment, you're gonna get women who are out there in the corporate
doing
world.
things, man.
Yeah. So
be aware of that. Be mindful.
I still don't know how to do that. But in this stage of our marriage, as you say, that's the one thing that's needed the most. Yeah.
And then the decisions you take subsequently, how do you then protect your wife from your family and vice versa? Because she used the example of the guy who stays at home because he has sports background, he has skills. They see that the son might go into that career, and so he wants to invest time while he's still young, present, and so he's left his job, but he's got a side hustle, a smaller business that is running from the home, which is going to give him more time, so that he can take the kid to soccer matches, build him, etc., etc., etc. And then the wife's family comes home and they're like, what is this? Plus our sister earns more money.
Sure, yeah.
This is her house, and how then the wife steps in to shield the husband from the family. And and
Sure, and I think it goes both ways.
Yep.
So firstly, the role of money and our status. Secondly, the role of family and their comments around that money. So the whole role of money. So as husbands, if we think that money is gonna be the thing that leads our wives or the currency to exert your authority, like you're gonna find yourself maybe if you lose your job or suddenly she earns more, the balance of power is gonna be out because the whole time you thought because you earn more, you can wield that as your sword and your staff to like say I'm the king here. So if money becomes the only thing you bring to the table, when you don't have it, otherwise she has more of it, she's gonna.
No, she has to.
She
has to be king. Yeah.
You setting the environment,
the tone,
and the tone for how this household is gonna be run. So don't be surprised when suddenly it's like you are nothing, guy, and she treats you like that because you used it as a matrix. So I think learning as husbands to not use money as that. Learning as husbands to swallow our pride when she earns more. I still, to this day, I'm like, I'll never ask my wife for money, bruh. That woman became a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I think she's got potential too.
It's your money.
Yeah?
It's your guys' money.
Yeah, but it just feels like she must ask me. Like there's something about like when she's asking me, I feel empowered. Yes, I'm an daughter. And then like I feel emasculated when I'm like flip. I've paid the bills.
Yeah.
And with the 5 rand I bring,
like
all of it is gone to 5 different things, and I
think like you said earlier on, that's a you issue.
No, I'm get it, but I'm just like that's how I think.
No, 100. I hear
part
you.
of it is learning to swallow that pride, and to know that money is not the thing that validates me being a husband.
I was thinking about this the other day where I was like, we should probably have a language and use words like, in the Kobedi household, there's one team that works, and that team is made of 2 people. So there's only one person employed here. Yeah. And that's the Kobedi team. Yeah. And the Kobedi team has.
But as husbands, we want to be the Jomo Cosmos team. You know Jomo?
Hey, Jomo.
He's
Jomo
the
is
player.
the coach, he's the manager, he's the striker,
the bus driver,
the cleaner. He makes the kids.
So, yes,
he mows the lawn.
We all don't have a problem with the idea of a team, but we want it to be the team of me. Like, I'm at the center of it all.
You want to be Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I understand there's no I in team.
Yeah.
But there's I in win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's not be like that, man. Let's fight to say, there's a group that's working here, or one team that works.
That's true, man. And I think that's a healthier view and approach to marriage.
Yeah, man. This was cool. There's more that could be said. We're gonna have the doc come back and share more insights. We'll leave her details in the comments section below. So if you want to reach out to her, get in touch with her. We think she's really doing an amazing work, and she's excellent at what she does. So it would really help a lot of people. I don't know if you have any last words, Muruti.
You didn't ask for coffee today.
I am going to ask for coffee.
Okay, ask for coffee. We must take up an offering.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that what you...
Yeah?
Please.
People must give. We think it's... you just get up here behind cameras. This cameras cost money. Give money. I'm pledging. How much am I?
You said your wife is a millionaire.
Yeah, she was going to be.
So pledge.
I'm going to pledge 150 rand. I'm going to put it on the thing. I challenge you to give 150 rand.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I don't know when this is gonna be.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a new month.
It's a new month.
Yeah, so you...
I'm pledging 150.
Come on.
Because I believe in
150K.
Yeah?
150K.
Jesu.
For Kobedi.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you on the flip side, man. Take this episode, sit down with your wife, have conversations. It challenged us. We hope it challenges you so that we can continue being husbands who know better, so that we definitely do better, not just for us, for our wives, our families, for this country. All right, we'll see you on the flip side. That Husband Podcast with me, Black Newborn. Peace.
You send me back my 150.
Yeah, that's what we do.
You can't plan. You can't say, I'm ready to get married and then find someone and marry them. A lot of times when I've seen my friends say, I want to get married this year. Then they meet someone. A lot of the times those things don't, because you've constitutionalized marriage, right?
Sure.
When I saw her, she gave me the feeling of wanting to get married.
Wow.
And I'm like, but I've literally just met this person.
Wow.